Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be making those two pictures that you see. I'll be making that maxi gown. First, you have to fold your clothes into 4 equal parts. I'm using 3 yards for this gown. I'm using 3 yards, but because I have a petite body, that's why I'm using 3 yards, and I'm using side small. So that's like 6. So in case you are bigger than that, you'll be using more than that. So the first thing is you measure 15 from your material. After folding it into 4, you make sure 15 all through and cut it out. That is what we are going to be using for our pleating, our down pleating. You need to cut that out first, because you need that as much cloth as you can, as much fabric as you can get, to make the down more gathers. So that's why I removed that. Then next I'll be removing the second pleating. That means the first pleating after the half cut. So I'll be removing that now. I'm using 2 yards for that. If you can remember, my cloth is 3 yards, but I'm folding into 4 now, but just 2 yards. So I'm folding into 4. That's 18 inches. I'm measuring 18 inches. 18 times 2, that's 36. 36 times 2, that's 72. And 72 is 2 yards. So I'm removing 1 yard out. Then I'm measuring my half length and where I want my pleating should start from. So in this one, I'm cutting out 30. I'm cutting out 34. Cutting out 34. So let's cut that out. I still have 1 yard left. So I'll be using that to cut out my cut down. That's my down part. I've cut out my down part. Then now, because I'm going to be sewing off shoulder, I'm not sewing a full blouse length. I'm sewing off shoulder. I'm not sewing a normal blouse length. So I'll be measuring 6 for my off shoulder. Then where I want my half length should be, my half length here, I'm using 17 for my half length. So after removing the 6, is going to be making 11. So I'm cutting out my 11 inches. I add 1 inches to it to make it 18. That will be my sewing in allowance. So I'm cutting that out. Then you're going to be measuring your bust. I'm using a freehand method. So in case you don't understand, I'm using a freehand method. After my joining, I'll be trimming out. So I'm not really using what's it called? I'm using a freehand, so I'm just cutting it out. Then after my joining and fitting, I'm going to be trimming out. Then I'm going to do an inner weaving inside. So that's it. Here I'm cutting out the neck, the armhole. I'm cutting out the armhole. Here I'm using 3 by 3. I'm using 3 by 3. So I'm cutting that out. The first thing I did was I measured my shoulder length. After marking my shoulder length, then I marked where I want the armhole to reach. Then I cut it out. This one now is the down part. You know the down part has rope at the back. There is no zip. It doesn't have a zip allowance. So I need to cut the rope with the back together. So this is me trying to cut the rope with the back. That means you need to use your ruler and slant the back straight. It's a very long one. This one I'm using 60 inches. I'm using 60 inches. So I'm cutting it with my back. As you can see, I'm cutting it with my back. It is going to be as long as you want it to be, and how big you want the belt to be, or you want the belt should be very thin. I want a very big belt, so that's it that I'm cutting out there. So you cut that out with the back, but some people don't cut it out with the back. They cut the normal back and they just join the belt with it. Any which way that you like it, you can do it that way. But since this is what I love, this is how I want my own to be. That's why I'm cutting it out like this. So this is the back of my upper body that I'm cutting out now. This is the back. So I've cut my back out. Then I'm cutting out a stripe. I want to use it to turn my neck. I want to use it to turn my neck. So that's what I'm cutting out now. I'm using this to turn my neck, the front neck. I'm using it to turn it. So that is okay. Now I'm cutting the sleeve. It depends on how maxi or how big you want your sleeve to be. These my remaining materials. That's the one yard I removed the other time. So I don't want my own hand to be too big, so this is what I will be doing. Then you just cut it straight. You cut it as if you are cutting your so sorry about that. I forgot about it. Your off shoulder. When you want to cut your off shoulder, so you cut your sleeve like your off shoulder. Then it depends if you want a long hand sleeve, if you want a short hand. I want a short hand and maxi sleeve. So that is what I have. So I'm through with my cutting. Now let's go to the sewing. First, I'm turning my neckline. I'm turning my neckline. Turning it, as you can see. Then I want to put that. So as for me, I'm using 4 by 5. So my width will be 8 altogether, while the length of my dart is going to be 5. So I'm using 4 by 5. I'm using 4 by 5. Then the second place, we are doing 4 by 5. So that is my dart. Can you see? Then now I'm going to be putting my pleating. I'm going to be adding my pleating to the down part. So you notch the middle and you notch the middle of your front part, your upper body, the front part. So I'll be adding the middle. This maxi gown, the front part is pleating, while the back part is rubber band that is there. We are still going to see what I'm saying. I just want to explain. The front part is pleating, while the back part is rubber band. So that's why we are not doing the pleating all round. So we are just going to pleat the front alone. So that's the front that I'm pleating now. We're just going to pleat the front alone, while the back is rubber that is there. It's elastic that is there. Elastic that is at the back. So make sure your pleating is equal. It's not that one side will be well pleated and the other side will not be well pleated. That's why you notch in the middle, so that when you are pleating, you look at it and see that one side is not more than the other side. So I'm through with my pleating here. That's it. That's the pleating. Through with my pleating. That's my back. That's my back. The back of my upper body. Then I'm going to be turning it all through. I'm going to be turning it all through. Both sides. I'm going to be turning the two sides, the neck side, and I'm going to be turning the down side. So I'm going to be turning it all through. You see? Turning it. Your back side can be as long as you want, and it can be as small as you want. Even if you don't want anything to be at the back, you can make it smaller than my own. So for the down part of the back of my back, I'm going to be putting my elastic. I said earlier that my back part is elastic that is there is not fitting. Yes, so I'm going to be adding my elastic to the back part now, which is what I'm doing right now. As you can see, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to be adding the elastic. Different people have different ways of adding their elastic, but this the way I do my own elastic to make it more easier. I stitch it down in both sides, then I pull while I run down the stitches. I don't know if you understand, but you understand in this. As you can see what I'm doing. So I pull and run down the stitches. But some people will run down the stitches first, then use a safety pin to insert their rubber band. Any which way you know that is easier for you, you can do it that way. For me, I prefer doing mine like this because I believe it's more faster. It is faster. DIY. I want something faster so I can finish my work earlier. So as you can see, I'm through with the rubber band, and as you can see, and for the back, the rubber band you want to use, let's say your what's it called, let's say your waist is 30, the rubber band you want to use should be 10 or 9, because you know elastic, you know the front part is going to be a normal measurement, while the back part is rubber band. So you don't want to use a rubber band that is going to be dropping or that is not going to be firm with your body. So you can use 8, you can use 9 or 10. Don't use above that if your waist is around 30 downward, but if your waist is around 30 upward, you can still use 11, 10, 11. Do you get 10, 11 because of the elastic? So now I'm pinning down the both sides. I want to fit it. I want to fit the body. So I'm pinning down the both sides of the clothes of the upper part. I'm pinning the both sides of the upper part, and I'm going to run down the stitches of the both sides. You are going to measure your bust, divide it by 2, and that's what you are going to be measuring there. So my own bust is 32, and I measured the both sides 16, while my waist is 26, but I want it more snatched, so I use 25 for it so that it will be more snatched. So then you sew down, you sew it down. We're going to be stopping at the waist part because we have not added the down part of the back. We need to join the upper part. We need to join the upper part first before we now add the elastic at the back, the elastic down part at the back. So that's why you see me doing it this way. I'm going to be sewing the upper part first, then after adding the elastic, then I can now sew it down to the last part. So that's what I'm doing right now. So that's the front, the back. As you can see, the back is long. You are still going to be trimming. We are still going to be trimming the excesses that is there. So that is the elastic that I'm talking about. So where your stitching, your upper part stitching stopped, that's where you are going to start your elastic for the back. You don't want a situation whereby it's not going to be looking neat or so. So that same place that you stopped your stitching for the upper part is where you are going to start your stitching for the lower part at the back. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that. Exactly where you stopped is where you start your back. So you'll be cutting that out. Then you stitch the other side. The reason why we need to stitch the upper part first is because we don't want a situation whereby we are going to stitch it all together and the lower part that has elastic is going to be dropping. dropping I mean is that it's going to be below your waist. Do you understand? So that's why you need to join the upper part first before joining the back, the elastic at the back. As you can see, the finishing is all looking nice. So now we are going to be adding the gathers. That's the pleating down. That's the last part of the cloth. The down, the first one that we cut out, that we said we are going to be cutting a very long one. This one is 3 yards. Like in length, it is 3 yards. You can add more to it, just as much as you want it to be more puffy. That's what you're going to be at. But for me, I'm using 3 yards, and I'm going to be pleating it all round the gown. I'm going to be pleating it round the gown. I'm going to be pleating it. You can add more to yours if you want it to be more puffy, or you want it to be more gathered at the down part. You can add more if you have more material. For me, I'm using 3 yards, and my 3 yards is not remaining at all, so I can't add more to it. I just have to make use of what I have, and I have to notch and then pleat little by little. But if you have more material, you can add to it and then pleat all around the clothes. So that's it. I'm pleating it all around now. You can see. And you want to pleat equal. You don't want a situation whereby you pleat one side and the other side is not, you have to pleat equally round. You have to pleat equally, as you can see. You pleat equally. It's not a must, it's a very big pleat. You pleat equally. So that is that after my pleating all around the cloth. Now I'm going to be adding elastic to my sleeve. I'm going to be adding elastic to the upper part and the lower part of my sleeve. That's the arm side and the hand side. So I'm going to be adding it. You know how I add my elastic now. I don't use safety pin. I just sew it down. See, after adding my elastic. Now I'll be adding the hand to my armhole that I caused the other time. So you want your armhole and your sleeve arm should be the same thing. Then I'm drawing it together. That's it. See, you can see my sleeve. The down part of my clothes, then you sew it all round. You can see, you stitch it all round.